What have you learnt about technology from the process of constructing this product? By producing this magazine, I'd learnt a lot about Adobe Photoshop and WordPress. As I've used Photoshop before, I've become used to using layers and adding text on my product. I did need to edit some of my images as they didn't look too professional, but by using Photoshop it removed anything I didn't want in there so my images looked original. By using the clone stamp tool, I edited the face of my subject on my front cover to remove blemishes on her face. This was very useful as it made my image look neater and more professional. By using the magic wand tool, I traced around the image at the top so I can place my masthead behind it. I learnt this technique from my secondary research, which was very useful. I did this as it was very conventional in most magazines and it made my image look broader and stand out. I also became comfortable adjusting the brightness of my text by reducing the opacity so I can see a bit of my background as well as the image itself. I had done this on the cover lines Tasha Keys. At the start of adding in my text and my images, I placed my rulers in. This was very useful as it was a guide to help me add in my text and columns so my magazine looked neater. I became useful adding in text and using the rectangular tool on Photoshop to make a banner on my front cover. When it came to producing my contents page, I was well aware of using the drop shadow technique on the layer style, making my text look bolder with a black shadow around it. I thought this made my text stand out more and look nicer, so I added it on my subheadings and cover lines. On my contents page in the third column, I decided to add in a box, and by changing the colour of the box so it looks faded, I added a gradient overlay and an inner glow on the layer style to make the colour of the box stand out. I also became aware of cropping my images so there wasn't any dead space around it. I thought Photoshop was very useful when editing my double page spread image. When I took my original image there was wet marks on it, so by using the cloning tool I removed these wet marks, making my image look better. One thing I had never used before was the Max. After a while I became used to taking screenshots of my work and the progress I had made. I also became aware of the WordPress blog where I had placed all my coursework on. I felt that it was very useful and after a while it became easy to use. I also thought it was very convenient how I could change the dates of when I uploaded my work and I can continue editing if I missed out anything. Another good thing about using WordPress is that it is also available on my laptop and iPhone. I used SkyDrive to transfer my images from home to the college Macs, and this was more accessible and convenient due to cloud-based storage.